Hey guys, been wanting to do this video for a while. I needed to do it wanted to do it in the winter time. I wanted to do it last night, but it was because it was snowing pretty good last night. It was about mid-20s, real nice snow and everything, but I just got too busy. I was just trying to dig out and feed everybody and just, feed the steer and everything like that. Just too much stuff. I couldn't do it. So today it's a little colder. It's about 10. Well, that little thermometer says 10. My house thermometer says about 8, but whatever. It's supposed to get below 0 tonight, and I think the high is supposed to be single digits tomorrow and stuff. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is there's been some discussions, and there are discussions that are ongoing on Facebook and stuff regarding what is the most important piece of kit that you take with you when you go into the woods. I'm a student of Dave Canterbury's. I've taken a couple of his classes, a basics and advanced class, so I kind of subscribe to his theory as far as the 5 C's and then the 10 C's. I just think it's a good system. I haven't found a flaw in it yet. I think it's a pretty good system to take with you. So when I go in the woods, I take the bare minimum of the 5 C's. I'm on my 4-wheeler today. My house is just right up there. I don't have a container. Actually I do. I've got my trapping buckets and stuff like that, but I don't have a stainless steel container right now. But for the most part, if I'm going for a walk or something like that, I always take the 5 C's. But if you were to only be able to take one piece of gear with you, what would that piece of gear be? Would it be your knife? I'm going to limit the discussion, I guess, to the 5 C's. Because I guess that's the only thing I can think of. Those are the most important things that I would take in the woods and what I do take. Your cover, you already have your cover on. You've got cordage. You've got a container, your combustion device, and your knife, your cutting tool. Some people say that, and I can't remember if I listed them all, but anyway, everybody knows what the 5 C's are. This is just my opinion. This doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. It's just my opinion, and it's based on my area. My area gets pretty chilly. I'm not saying it's the coldest around. I mean, there's plenty of places colder, but it gets pretty cold. Some people down south, or maybe in the desert, I could see where if I was in the desert, a container would be my top priority, because if I come upon a water hole, I'm going to want to be able to bring that water with me. Some other places, it might be a cutting tool, some sort of tomahawk or an axe or a knife or whatever. I know in my area, in the summertime or even in the springtime, I'm going to want a knife. But in the wintertime, I'm going to want a ferro rod. I'm not going to want a lighter, because if I take this lighter out of my warm pocket, first of all, my hands are freezing right now, but if I take this lighter out of my warm pocket and drop it in the snow, it's going to take a while now for this thing to work. Yeah, I'm screwed with that. If I take my ferro rod and drop it in the snow, put my glove back on so I don't freeze to death, drop the sheath in the snow, all I got to do is wipe it off and it's going to be good to go again. So this is just my 2 cents for my area. I think the most important piece of gear for my area is a ferro rod, so that I can obtain fire. Now, I know that if you had a knife or something, you'd be able to make a shelter, maybe. I'm going to do a little panoramic view of my woods here, what's common for my area. And just, if you want to put a comment down and tell me what type of a shelter you would make. I know what I would do. I'd probably try and make a spider type shelter and probably try to dig down underneath this foot of snow that we got, or 10 inches, whatever we got. Try to find some leaves, cover my shelter with the leaves, and then put the snow on over the top of that. The problem with right now is there's not a lot of snow on the ground. There's about 8-10 inches, and it's getting cold, so it's going to be a fluffy, powdery type snow. It's not a wet snow. The stuff isn't going to stick together. I don't know if you've ever tried to make a snow shelter or whatever, but generally when I've done it, I have to shovel the snow into a pile and let it set. And I've even cheated a little bit and sprinkled a little water over it to give it some structure, to give it some strength, because this fluffy snow doesn't want to adhere to itself. It just doesn't work. So I'm going to do a little panoramic view and let you see the woods. I guess something that I was kind of thinking of was like a scenario situation. Let's say you're out and it's Christmas, it's getting close to Christmas time now. So let's say you're out, you got the family with you, and you want to go cut your own Christmas tree out in the woods. So you tell your kid, you got a young son or daughter or whatever, hey, grab the saw, and you start heading off into the woods. And it was snowing like crazy last night. So pretty soon you get turned around and you're stuck out there, and you're like, all right, well, we're stuck, we're just going to kind of hunker down. Hey kid, where's the saw? Well, we all know that kids are a little forgetful, and maybe you got other things on your mind, and you know it's your fault for not double checking your kid that he didn't have a saw. But now you don't have a saw, so you don't have a cutting tool. Now you're stuck with just your ferro rod. So for me, I could build a decent enough shelter with just the downed wood that we have, and if I had a fire I could survive even in below zero weather. It would suck bad, but I think I could do it. So anyway, I'm going to do a little panoramic view of my woods and let you kind of check it out. So this is what I have to work with. A lot of this stuff is down. Got a lot of tinder, or kindling rather. I've got birch, so I know I can get a fire going with that. We got a pine tree way in the distance, but I don't have a lot of pines on my property. Up north they got a lot of pines, so you can make a decent shelter with that. So I'm going to do a little stomping on the ground, get the snow out of the way, and build a fire layer and get warm. Alright guys, hopefully I can make this fire. My hands are absolutely freezing. I'm going to take a piece of this birch bark, try to rough it up a little bit. I'm going to get, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of these shavings and put them on this piece of bark right here. I'm just taking this metal tool here and just scraping and getting these shavings. Wool gloves are nice, but they stick to everything. Oh, nice. Dumped it right in the snow. Man, that heat's already nice. Wow. Nothing quite like when your fingers start to thaw out. It kind of smarts a little. Man. Oh. Freaking A. I didn't grab enough small kindling. And that one piece of bark I put on there, it wasn't birch bark, but it was dry. But you gotta be careful using that bark. It was a big section and it'd smother your fire. So anyway, I guess I think that a ferro rod is my top priority in the winter time in my area, because now if I keep feeding this fire, and now that at least I got my hands a little bit warm, I can, you know, at least maybe emergency grab a piece of birch bark off that tree right there to keep it going until I can grab some small kindling. Like I said, I should have grabbed some more. I should have grabbed some more stuff really small, but I wanted to get a fire going real fast because my hands were freezing. Now I already went through the pain of them thawing out, so now I can at least move a little bit and maybe think about doing something else to try to improve my situation here, if I was in a bad situation. So I'd be interested to know what you guys think is your most vital piece of gear. And it can be season dependent too. Like I said, mine's a ferro rod in the winter and a knife in the summer. So, take care, guys. Just thought I'd show you, just in the hour that I've been out here, if that, it's already dropped 10 degrees almost. It's gonna get cold tonight.